In this video, we're going to cover how we generated millions of dollars in email revenue for this personality-based supplement company. We're going to cover the brand, how we got started working with them, the challenge, our approach, our entire campaign strategy, including some cool little tidbits and tactics that we used, as well as our product launch strategy to drive millions of dollars in revenue, send over 20 million emails, create 60 total email campaigns, drive on average 125K per campaign, and also 1.4 million on average per holiday site-wide sale, right? And then we're going to cover how it worked. And if you want to work with us, and if you're really impressed and want to work with us, then we can cover that later on. But let's get into it. What's the brand? Who do we actually work with to actually drive these results for? We work with Dr. Kellyanne. So Dr. Kellyanne is essentially a personality-based brand. It's an 8-figure holistic health brand led by Dr. Kellyanne Petrucci. She's a New York Times bestselling author. She appears on like Good Morning America, The Talk, other media outlets. She has, I think, almost a million, actually more than a million followers across social media. She has millions of website visitors per month, and so she has her own unique story of healing herself through nutrition. Being kind of like pushed away from conventional doctors, and so she went ahead and healed herself, and then so she pioneered bone broth. So she pioneered functional bone broth powders, collagen shakes, dietary supplements, and hormone health products for older women who want to feel better about themselves, right? So how do we get started with them? So before founding the Kaizen Blitz, I joined Dr. Kellyanne's team as a junior email copywriter from 2021 to 2022, right? So keep in mind that these results are 3 to 4 years old already. They don't currently represent the brand as it is today. And also, I don't want to have any imposter syndrome when it comes to this. I was part of the email marketing team. We were a team of about 3 to 4 people, and the emails I'm going to mention are the exact emails that I wrote or had pretty much had a say in them. I contributed to this revenue. I'm not taking any revenue that other people have contributed to on the team. I'm not taking any credit from that. These are campaigns that I've personally contributed to. So I just want to get that out of the way. And all these strategies that we use like an understanding like how to connect with the audience, how to capture her unique voice, what drives conversions in the health supplement space. We utilize these strategies in our agency with our clients today. So this is straightforward, just exactly where I got a lot of experience working with this brand. So what's this challenge? Kind of what do we have to deal with when it came to writing out these emails? So just to preface, these emails are plain text emails. During the time when we were writing these out, these were directly coming from Dr. Kellyanne through her voice. It was literally just an image of an email header and then plain text and then a picture of her signature at the bottom, right? And so there are some things for her size of roughly 340,000 subscribers, there are some things we had to focus on when we were sending out the campaigns. Like, number one, maintaining her authentic voice while scaling email output, converting passive subscribers into high-value customers, supporting major product launches and holiday promotions, balancing health information with product promotion, right? So we're not overselling the product. We're delicately, like tastefully promoting the product wherever we see fit, but a lot of it was value-based in her unique voice. And then also number 5, building a stronger community bond among the customers, right? So as a junior copywriter on the team, I was part of this initiative to help address these challenges with the email content. So here's our focus. Number 1 is the voice authentic email management. So being part of the team meant we had to develop a comprehensive understanding of Dr. Kellyanne's unique voice, both as a medical professional, because she's an actual doctor, and trusted advisor, right? So we had to balance key elements such as her scientific credibility from her background as a naturopathic physician and certified hormone health coach. We had to understand that side of her and understand, her credibility. Where does she go to school? Where does she get her education? We had to understand that. Her personal story is based on her own health transformation story, understanding her own personal stories. We're going through her content, going through her podcast, going through guest shows, talks on Good Morning America. We had to go through it all to understand her voice and understand her backstories. Having empathy for women's health struggles, especially around hormonal issues and menopause, especially since the healthcare space is predominantly male driven. And then also number 4 is mission driven messaging that emphasize self-care and wellness. We were very positive with the messaging, especially because these are older women that want to feel better about themselves. They want to feel empowered, they want to feel sexy, they want to feel great about themselves, and as they, if whether it's gaining weight or putting on wrinkles, they still want to feel alive. And so we, with Dr. Kellyanne's voice, we were able to do we were able to utilize a lot of that. So that's number 1, and that's how we were able to like really connect with the audience. Doing this allowed us to connect with the audience and also build a highly engaged audience that's willing to buy, because it's Dr. Kellyanne. Number 2, strategic campaign development. So here are some examples of campaigns that we sent out. You can kind of see it is literally just an image header, plain text, and then logo, or not logo, signature at the bottom, PS section, maybe some links, and then link icons to like social media, right? It was very straightforward. It's not how it is today, but back then we were still driving tons of revenue just doing the strategy. So rather than focusing on just promotional content, we implemented a pretty balanced approach across the entire email content calendar. So number 1 is educational content. This established authority and provided lots of value on topics like hormone health, digestive wellness, inflammation. So pretty much we talked about like anything health related, right? Anything that can like really impact women, or whether it's like seasonal or whether it's just topical during the time. We really wanted to just help people get them closer to the goals, right? So we're talking about sleep, we're talking about the gut microbiome, we're talking about dairy, we're talking about benefits of exercise, and then we're also getting into like highly more in-depth, I guess, niche ideas or practices like diets, and I guess we could get into like certain exercises, certain topics. They could be also like a little bit taboo as well, but that was one of the key things that we kind of like really focused on and driving just value and helping people, like I said, accomplish the goals. Number 2, mission-driven messaging. So referencing like Dr. Kellyanne's commitment to women's health conversations. So like we said before, referencing her journey, her pains, her struggles, her breakthroughs, discussing taboo topics in a professional manner, right? This is a predominantly male-driven space. A lot of these women don't feel like they feel pushed to the side. They don't feel like their voice is being heard, especially when it comes to their body, because there isn't really much science there. So people wanted to feel connected, and Dr. Kellyanne, we did a lot of scientific research in order to give good, valuable advice that other people probably were missing or didn't look into. Number 3, product-focused emails. Then you actually connected health challenges to Dr. Kellyanne's evidence-based solutions. So products we promoted included the bone broth packets, bone broth diet, various flavors and flavorings, cleanse and reset, which is pretty much just like a 1 day, 3 day, or 5 day just kind of liquid diet cleanse. 3 was lemon sips. It was literally just like a mixer with water. It was health based, but it was still just like a mixer with like really good ingredients. Bellabiotics, which is a probiotic. That I'll get into more of that later. And then also various side products like collagen peptides, bone broth protein, and then we also had like bars and stuff like that. 4, community building initiatives. So pretty much we wanted to foster a connection with the audience, and so what we did was we included like Sunday success stories, which I'm going to get into in a second. We featured other women's transformations with the products, and we also pushed them heavily towards the Facebook group. They had an entire CS team behind it, right? So it wasn't just Dr. Kellyanne in there. There's an entire CS team. I think there had to be over 10,000 people in that group. I'll be honest. There was a lot of people in that Facebook group. And so we were able to connect to the audience further. I think they did webinars and they did tons of different things in there. And then number 5, we cross-promoted other content channels such as like recipes on the blog and YouTube videos, YouTube video content. And then there's also promotional planning around seasonal events and holidays like Memorial Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. These drove hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars over a few days. So just to give you an idea of like the campaigns up here, I'm just going to touch on them briefly. So I don't want to scare you, but stress could be killing you. I know because I've been there. My life changed forever the day stress almost took me down. I never saw it coming. And then we get into a story about stress and how stress can be impactful to your health. And then I don't even think we promote a product in here. Yeah. So We promote an article on the blog at the PS section. So we're not really driving anything there. It's just more of a mission-driven statement email. Next, I have a confession to make. I was out with the girls last night and their sweet tooth kicked in. All I wanted was to get some ice cream. I didn't want to miss on the fun, so I decided to come along. But I told myself there's no way I'm going to get anything. Long story short, she gets ice cream. She talks about dairy, how how like lactase or lactose works, and then like all the proteins in it. We go into all that, and then we also send them over to I think a blog right here, and then we talk about Bellbiotics, which is a probiotic for your gut health. Next, no question about it, for your body to be at your best, you need to exercise. While that's easy to say, I understand it's not always easy to do. And then we go into exercise. It's pretty hard. Here are the health benefits, all the stuff. And then here's the Facebook group plug, right? So straightforward. And then we're also plugging saunas because they did a whole YouTube video about Dr. Kellyanne and saunas, right? And so these were more of like the, I guess, delicately written emails. These were not heavily product promotional and stuff like that, but we're going to get into some more examples where we are really driving revenue with these emails. Next, and these are the emails I'm talking about, Sunday success stories. This is our secret weapon when it came to driving a community around Dr. Kellyanne and her brand. So every Sunday we featured a real customer transformation story around the products, and specifically around the bone broth protein and like the diet. So we included before and after photos. We provided detailed personal journeys of these people. So essentially our CS team, our customer success team, they would get on calls with these people and they would talk about like, hey, how is it going through the diet? How did you feel before? How do you feel now? Like how, what did you feel like when you were going through it? How do you feel now? How much weight did you lose, right? We had all the transcripts from these meetings. We were able to go through them, find all the best tidbits, all the best quotations, all that, and we just linked this story. We just gave the entire story throughout the email, right? Both through Dr. Kellyanne's voice and then also providing direct quotations from the videos, right? And so because of that, we were able to really drive and hone in on specific results that these people were experiencing, right? So like we have can you guess my favorite type of compliment? The one that's expected. Because when you get all dressed up for a night out, you expect to hear compliments left and right. Wow, you look stunning. You're prettier than your pictures. You didn't even have to put on makeup. But the last place you would expect to receive a compliment is at the grocery store from a random person while wearing regular clothes and a mask. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to Karen. I knew my skin was changing because a lady said, "Oh my God, your skin, it's so beautiful, it's glowing." I was astonished that this stranger would have stopped and said something to me. And that is an insane hook that we used. And that's just one example of one of the hooks that we used throughout these success stories, right? And then another one is like this couple who did it together. It's a man and woman. They went through the diet together. They felt amazing. They felt great. And then that's where we plug the diet and say, hey, get the 21 protein diet, bone broth diet, and get through and get the similar results, right? And so we listed all these results, and it's just all social proof, right? But it's inspirational. People love to read this stuff. Every morning at 9 a.m. they were getting this Sunday success story, and then we were doing this for an entire year. 52 stories, one story a week for an entire year, right? And doing this approach provided tons of social proof and quantifiable results. It motivated existing customers to continue their health journeys. It generated a continuous stream of new testimonials from eager readers, because in this PS section, we asked people to say, hey, share your story with me and I'll get the word out. Let us know. And then anyone that was actually like super qualified and really interesting, we invited them on a phone call. We got the whole transcript and then we promoted that story. Then we created emails subscribers wanted, like they looked forward to receiving and reading every Sunday at like 9 a.m. And then we built a genuine community around the brand. So this was an insane initiative. This wasn't my idea. I'm not taking this idea, but this is something that I took part in, and this is an amazing thing that we did that I recommend a lot of brands do. Next, launching a new product line, Bellbiotics. So Bellbiotics, when I first joined the company, it was mainly around bone broth protein and then like diet cleansing. But then what the company wanted to pivot to was probiotics, especially around fine lines and wrinkles. And so what we had to do was um, we had to provide like 4 Belabiotics. It's a probiotic that is not only good for your gut but also good for your wrinkles, because it has certain ingredients that can work with your gut, because your gut can actually impact everything else in your body, like your skin. And so we had to provide tons. So we had to like put together an entire pre-launch strategy for this. But what this pretty much included was pre-launch education around the scientific need of the product. What are the clinical studies? What's the research? What's the clinical research behind the active ingredients in this product? How does it work? Why does it work? We're not just like talking about the product just yet, but we're just talking about the ingredients. We're talking about fine lines, wrinkles. We're warming people up to this idea of, hey, this is something I should be thinking about like for like a few weeks before we launch it, right? Then we share origin story emails that share Dr. Kellyanne's personal connection to the product development. So why are we producing it? Why is Dr. Kellyanne getting behind this? Why is this something that's important to her? She's getting older. She's the same demographic as these women, so she probably feels the same way about certain things, and we share that story. Then it's just a PAS sequence, a typical copywriting problem, agitation, solution sequence that resonated with specific pain points the audience is like really dealing with. We also had a tester group before the launch. We had a tester group of, I think, I want to say 30 to 50 people. They tested out the product. They got to have it for, I think, 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. And for the launch, we were able to utilize those customer stories. See, hey, how are your wrinkles? Do you feel better? Do you feel more energetic? We were able to kind of drive that home. Next is a limited time launch incentive. So when we launched, we provided some launch incentives to drive urgency around the deadline, around the launch. We really made it a huge thing. And then after the fact, we built out a 60-day post-purchase flow that ensured customer success and satisfaction. So we talked about Dr. Kellyanne's story. We talked about the testimonials to reduce buyer's remorse. We cross-sold a lot of other products that people probably like should look into, stuff like that, and that helped a ton. And so all of that led to the results of 20 million total emails sent, millions of dollars in total email attributed revenue, 60 high converting email campaigns, roughly 125K in revenue per campaign, and then 1.4 million in revenue per holiday sale, right? But beyond that, we also increased customer testimonial submissions, really drove and strengthened community engagement, and also built a genuine brand loyalty among the subscribers. Why did this work, right? If you want to implement it, you could implement all these strategies for your brand, but why would you want to do these in the first place? So number one is understanding what motivates our audience. These women were 40 years old or older that wanted to feel better about themselves. They want to have more energy, improve their appearance, manage their weight. Beyond these are like pretty much the basic desires, but we also had like deeper concerns that we addressed, which was like they felt dismissed by conventional medical providers regarding hormonal issues. This is a big thing that women deal with that, guys don't even like really comprehend that, right? Number two is searching for evidence-based natural solutions instead of pharmaceutical interventions. A lot of these women look towards holistic health. They want to try something natural. They don't really want to intervene. They're not really the ones that are just going to jump onto Ozempic, even though that wasn't really around during this time. Stuff like that. Number three, desiring privacy and dignity while addressing sensitive health topics. These are really important health topics that we had to kind of be touchy about. We couldn't just be drill the point home, be very direct. We had to like kind of ease into it and make sure we have the right messaging. They're wanting to feel understood about their unique stage of life. Same thing with like number one, these people don't feel understood. They want to feel understood, and then also, connecting with other women that are experiencing similar challenges in similar community, right? Number two, connecting products to Dr. Kellyanne's personal story. Dr. Kellyanne had her own healing journey, right? She tried all the different methods. She was also dismissed by conventional doctors, and so her story resonated with the customers that are dealing with the same thing, right? And so we wove a lot of these into the emails, right? Her struggle with endometriosis, finding out food-based solutions, like utilizing her academic credentials, reiterating her mission to like help other women who have been dismissed and misdiagnosed, and then also just touching up on like her transformation from, I was just, she was dealing with this pain, she was dealing with the struggle, and then, she found the food-based solutions, right? And that helped a lot. Number 3 was never selling without adding a value. So instead of pure promotional content, we maintain a careful balance between educational content, strategic product placement, community stories, and also just like really deep, insightful emails that connected with the customer. Like they're not only like educational per se, like they weren't like fact based, but they also like they just connected with the customer, right? And so the result was that these were emails that subscribers actually wanted to open because they felt connected to Dr. Kellyanne and her voice and who she was, right? And so, a lot of these emails, like you saw before, we weren't always just selling. It was also just providing value and connecting with the audience. And we took advantage of that, right? Then also number 4, consistency that built trust. We were always in our customers' inboxes. We were sending out at least a minimum of 3 emails a week. And so this disciplined approach to the calendar made sure that subscribers received regular, valuable communication that they looked forward to, right? So they were always seeing Dr. Kellyanne. We had great subject lines. The emails were fantastic, and so, we had high open rates, amazing engagement, and then also stronger conversions, right? Now, if you want to take the same thing for your online brand, right, you could take all these same strategies, you could apply them to your supplement brand or any other consumable brand that you have, or just personality-based brand. But what you're going to realize and find out is that it is a pain, and it is a lot more tedious than it looks like. Because getting the right tonality down, getting the right brand voice, getting this, putting together a really good campaign cadence around all the emails, around your strategies, around the mission, around your products, it's tedious, it's hard, it's difficult. And so if you're ready to optimize, if you're a brand doing 100K or more that wants to refine its email marketing calendar, drive meaningful revenue to its bottom line without being too salesy or repetitive and then just annoying your audience, book a free consultation down below and we'll build you a free 30-day email marketing calendar for your business. We have experience in platforms like Klaviyo, OmniSend, Braze, SendLane. We've helped over 70 brands send more than 150 emails and generate 20 plus million in client revenue for brands such as Rest, NatureMD, Muta Red Light, Underluna, and Hank Spouts, right? And many more. So get your free marketing calendar here. You can check out our case studies and email design portfolio. And then otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter and connect with me on LinkedIn for more amazing content like this. Otherwise, take care. Have a good day.